Okay, I'm sitting here with Jason Caesar. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good. First of all, I want to thank you so much for meeting with FAMFiend.com. I know we had a little challenge with me getting here, but I appreciate you working with the kid on that flexibility.
You had to donate a GPS. Y'all's cause.
And I appreciate it. The Poet Music Movement, please, whenever you guys get it together, I need a GPS. So first and foremost, tell us about yourself. Like, tell us how you got started for those of us who may or may not be as familiar with you.
Actually, I started off in college as a DJ. I was a football player slash DJ. I got in a lot of trouble. So started off doing that, got done with school, came down to Atlanta and actually considered law school, but then decided to pursue the music. And in doing so, I made some connects via MySpace with some booking agents in London initially. Shout out to Archangel Associates. And we started booking shows in London. After London, kind of got a buzz in Germany, started doing tracks over there and gigging. So I'm like a Euro dog, is what they call us, I guess. We go over to Europe and make a name and then come back home. So similar to what the Black Eyed Peas did, people like that, Wyclef, when they did a solo thing. So it worked. So it turned out to be a good move. So
So I'm sorry. So do you attribute the internet and MySpace and those type of social networking sites to your big buzz overseas?
The internet is key. If I had to do it with paper and a pen and some stamps, I'd still be a square one right now. So yeah, the internet is key. Like without the internet, we definitely wouldn't have made up as much ground as we did.
Okay, so I listen to a lot of your music, and you're a real like R&B. So how do you feel? I guess maybe when R&B artists are kind of pigeonholed into the whole neo soul category, and then you have maybe somebody like Bow Wow being recognized as an R&B artist.
Is he? That's news to me.
Yeah. A lot of
all,
rappers get, they get that R&B buzz.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's not.
I think with the birth of the whole R&B hip hop collab, it kind of meshed those two genres together. Especially when people came heavy like Big and Total, tracks like that, Mary J. Blige and Grand Puba, like forever ago. That kind of jumped that off, and now you can't have a rap without having a rap sandwich with an R&B hook or a bridge or something like that. And regarding neo soul, I don't believe in neo soul. I believe soul is just soul. It's always been soul, same thing.
Right.
They're neo artists and even old artists with the same soul. And now, I mean, it's a culmination of so many sounds that I don't think you can even categorize a lot of the music that's coming out now. Like rap isn't just rap. You got true hip hop,
right?
And you got rap, then you got stuff like trap music, which is big down here. And I think a lot of people misconstrue trap music for hip hop,
right?
And they kind of put that in that category and compare it to other hip hop artists and songs, and that's apples and oranges. Just like with R&B, you got your yellers and you got your crooners. You got two different, types of singers. You got some people that rely heavily on auto-tune, some people that just like the belting. So, everybody's different, but the tracks are becoming very similar.
Now you said something interesting about collabos. You've had a lot of collabos.
A lot, yeah. And that was, for me, I get bored hearing myself.
No.
If I listen to me for 10 songs straight, I want something else in there.
Right.
And I think on my first project, when we had collabs with artists like a guy named Intimate from South London, it really added a different sound. And then I had artists from Atlanta that were, rapping, and it added another dimension to that sound. Like if somebody writes an album and it's all nonfiction, you kind of get bored with it.
Right.
You would never had some of the greatest books in history, some of the greatest works of arts, literary works, without somebody embellishing or putting a new paint job on old material. So I kind of, I don't know. I like to embellish and I like to add other ingredients into the stew.
Right, a full musical experience.
Right. So if it's just me sitting there telling you the truth, I mean, you'll get to know me and you'll get to know my story, but there's a time and a place for that. And that's like an unplugged set.
Who was your most favorite person to collaborate with?
I don't know. Everybody's so different. I can't really, again, that's apples and oranges. I can't compare, those people. But there's a lot of people I still want to collaborate with. But no, I can't give anybody the crown on favorite collab thus far.
Who else are you interested in working with?
Oh man, these are people who it's not like people around here. I mean, these are people like Prince and I grew up listening to.
Okay.
Who else? Man, I can't even begin to. Most of them are dead now that I think about it.
Wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, but yeah, it's crazy. Prince first and foremost. Writing projects, I love to work with some of the real R&B heads, like even DeBarge, people like that who were writing 80s ballads. Man, like Brian Adams, the old power ballad people. Those people I like to sit down and actually have a session with and see what came out. But yeah, like they say here, a rapper or R&B singer, they're born every 20 seconds. So it's all on what sets you apart. And I think it's all on what you come up listening to and all on what you learn to love. You can't stop listening and learning and, have your sound. Your sound should always be evolving.
Well, speaking of coming up, for people that don't know, you are related to Shirley Caesar.
Yes.
One of my favorite gospel artists.
Okay.
How is it being, I guess, an R&B artist and having such a powerful aunt in her industry? And she's definitely a musical legend overall, but coming from two different genres, do you feel like people look at you differently? Do you feel like the expectations are different?
Definitely. Yeah. When I first came to Atlanta and I told people my lineage, they initially put on a gospel track and they sent me in the booth and wanted me to drop something along those lines, and I told them, I'm an R&B singer. And first and foremost, let me say, I love Aunt Shirley to death. She's family. She's my grandfather's sister.
Okay.
So, Thanksgiving dinner is great, whatever, when we come around. But on the business side, that's different. I think a lot of people forget that it's the music business, and, not just your familiar relationships that create who you are and what you do. Obviously, since I'm not doing gospel. But, yeah, we had a riff. We didn't get along for about a year when she realized I wasn't doing gospel music. She was ready to put out her resources, and yeah, it was a rude awakening when I told her that it was going to be a R&B soul project. So yeah, we've gotten past that in the past year or so. Our relationship has gotten a lot better. It's gone back to how it was before music infiltrated. But yeah, but I mean, it's growing up, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because either you learn how to play an instrument or you learn how to sing.
Right.
Or you got out the house, you went to play ball or something. You couldn't be in the way.
Right.
So all of us, my cousins and myself, we all came up either playing an instrument or singing or writing songs. But yeah, that definitely shaped my foundation. Like my initial sound comes from that.
Right.
Church and everything. That's where it started.
Okay, singing in the church.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of singers do start off like that.
Yeah.
So tell us about Euro America.
Well, Euro America is a project. It's all European production. A couple tracks that I produced, actually, more on the acoustic side, and me, and that's it. Not many collabs with European artists, rappers or vocalists. Couple American artists up there. My boy Jesty Beats is up there. Who else is in here? So many tracks. Oh, Joe Bill's on Euro America. Who else is on Euro America?
Let me call time out right here, just in case anyone wants to know, so he won't think he's talking to himself. Mo Riley is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, from 95.5 The Beat, FAMFiend.com. How are you?
I am fabulous. It's bright out here.
Oh, it is very bright out here. Tell us, I guess, you tell us about Jason as an artist, and why are you such a big fan and appreciate his music so much?
Man, like Jason and I, we've met on MySpace as well. I was actually back in Michigan when I first got on MySpace, however many years ago, and he was actually up in the Midwest. I don't know if it was Michigan or Ohio. He was supposed to have been doing a show, and I came across his page, and from that point we just stayed in touch. I came back down to Atlanta about 4 months later, and we reconnected, and I saw that he was still doing his music thing, and really we just been friends ever since. I've been a fan of his music, and him as a person, as an artist, and so it just was a natural progression for me to become part of the Poets Music family. So now there's a group of us, not only here in the States, but we have some people overseas that are working, our DJs, Choice and M. Dot. Lucas is here, Juan is here, so Poets Music is, he's the focus of it right now. and the rest of us, we're just trying to push him along. You know, his success is our success. Euro America, it's a process. It's a project in the works. All of the DJs, man, over in Europe are super dope. So that's through who a lot of the bookings come through. And as far as here, he's gonna collab with a few more people on some other projects here. But as far as Euro America, is going to be very strategic as far as him working strictly with European, you know, mostly European production. Maybe a few collabs here, but it's going to be very strategic.